in Taraweeh, we're driving home and were struck in horrific accident and killed right there on the spot. So we don't know. We never know. So the thing that we have to always keep in mind is that we don't want this to be a one-off. We don't want this to be just a brief moment in time for us and then we forget about it for 11 months until it comes back around again, if it comes back around again for us. We want to continue what we began. We may not continue at the same level. This is fine. This is understandable. Most of us were not going to be able to perform at the levels that we were performing at during the month for the rest of the 11 months. This is reality. But we shouldn't allow ourselves to go back to zero. Whatever we built during this month, we need to cling tenaciously to it and hold on to as whatever fraction we can hold on to for the rest of the year. So if you, mashallah, if you stood in salawat every night for Taraweeh, even you came maybe for tahajjud, don't let that be the only time the night sees you standing. Don't let it be the only time that Allah hears your voice raised to Him in prayer in the darkness of the night. You don't have to stand for 23 rak'ah or 18 or 13 or 11 or whatever number you choose. Whatever you choose is fine. The Prophet ﷺ sometimes prayed witr even with just one. And even he counseled Abu Hurairah radiallahu anh with the same. The point is not to give it up. Not to give it up. Imam Ahmed, rahmatullahi alayhi, one of the statements from him regarding the question, how do I know if my deeds are accepted? How do we know if what we've done has met with acceptance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? We know the Sunni greeting, the greeting from the Sunnah upon the advent of the Eid, taqabbala minna wa minkum. May Allah accept from us and from you. Salih al-a'mal, our righteous actions. But how do we know? How do we have an indication? Imam Ahmed, rahmatullahi alayhi, he had mentioned that one sign is that the deeds keep going. Whatever you were doing, you keep going. This isn't the only time of the year that we see you fast. Alhamdulillah, we know we have a number of brothers that are here regularly on Mondays and Thursdays breaking iftar with their brothers, etc. But we all need to find some time in our month to fast just a little bit. Even again, hearkening back to what Abu Hurairah was told by his friend, as he said, by my friend Abu Qasim, yani al-Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Told him first, fast 3 days out of every month. We just did 29 or 30 days. 3 days, we should be able to do this standing on our heads. It's not easy. It's not difficult, I should say. And if you think about it, I made this comment recently to somebody else. If you think about the math of the hasanat, we know the math. For every one good deed we do, we get at least 10. So if you do 3 out of every month, how many is that? 30. How many days in a month? So if you do 3 days every month, it's the whole year. If you keep that up consistently, that's a lifetime. 3 days. Is that really so much to ask? Is that really that difficult? It's not. So wherever we go, let's not lose the nawafil that we've been in the habit of doing now, so that we can show the sincerity of what we were doing in this month by continuing it. For those that were coming to the masjid, and maybe you weren't in the habit of doing so before the month, inshallah, we'll see your faces again. This won't be the last. We'll see you again and again. And as always, we continue to turn to Allah in our salawat, in our dua. Dua is, according to some of the scholars, they describe it, actually according to the Prophet, it says, in one statement of the Prophet ﷺ, he says, ad-du'a huwa al-ibadah. What does this mean? It's not just that dua is worship. That's part of it. But if you pay attention to the wording, he's saying that dua, making supplication to Allah, is the definition of worship. In order to turn to Allah in prayer, in dua, you have to recognize who He is. You have to recognize what He offers from Himself and that He is capable of what He offers. And that you realize no matter what the need is that you have, turning to Allah with that need, whatever it may be, He is the one who can fulfill that need. And relying on Him, turning to Him, this is trust in Allah. This is true faith. This requires a deep and abiding belief in Allah. And so it is the very definition of worship. A loving, humble, submissive spirit that is turning back to its Lord and begging Him for what it needs. Because it recognizes that there is no one else to provide for that need than their Lord. So don't lose the dua. Don't let the plaintive appeals of your voices in the night, in qunut, and in dua, don't let that be the last. Take everything to Allah. The Christians, they have, take it to the Lord in prayer. This is what they say. SubhanAllah, the Muslims should be thinking the same way. Whatever the problem is, take it to Allah in dua. If you're not already in the habit, I'll close with this inshallah. If you're not already in the habit of doing this, whenever you're making a sunnah prayer, those 2 rak'ahs, never forget that you can follow it up with istikhara. Many people, they think that istikhara should be reserved only for certain things. Istikhara can be used for whatever. Whatever you're having difficulty being settled on a decision, on a course of action in your life, no matter how great or how small it might seem, take it to Allah in prayer. Turn to Him and ask for His decision. Ask for His guidance in the matter. So that if it's for you, He makes it easy for you. He facilitates the matter for you and it happens, even without you being able to control the speed at which it happens. I've had personal experience with that. And if it's not for you, for Him to turn your heart away from it and to turn it away from you and then guide you to what is better, wherever it's going to be. No matter what it is, turn to Him. Ask Him for that guidance, etc. If you do it with a full faith in your heart, at the very least, you'll feel relief. You'll be at ease because you'll know, I've put it in the hands of someone much better able taking care of it than myself. So at the very least, don't forget your dua. Don't forget to use the istikhara for whatever it is that troubles you. Whatever it is that gives you uncertainty, ask Allah to help you with it. He's the only one that can help. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.